paid a bit more to get something from them?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's the top of the top, because there are people who really know film history and they really know film. They see every film. So, I mean, as much as I'm touched by someone on the street saying, hey, I saw your film and here's what it means to me, that's great. But I think it's another level, not to be elitist, but in this world of, film, that those writers are, they're important because they actually know quite a bit about what they're talking about. So, you take it that much more serious, and it's that much, of an honor.
Dedicated 12 years. Does this film mean the most to you of any that you've made?
God, that's a good question, I mean, I always thought it's one film, but it just happened to take that long to make. But I don't know if it's definitely the most all-encompassing life project. And it's probably by far the most personal film I ever made. It's so much about my own childhood and, my own life. So in a way, I probably could say that and not have anyone backlash me in my other films. Yeah, actually, I shot it this fall. And it sort of begins right where Boyhood ends. It's a different cast, but a guy just shows up at college and meets his new friends and his new life of, freedom, which in this case, it's set in 1980, so it's sort of a spiritual sequel to my movie Dazed and Confused from way back. So it's, it becomes like a big college party film. So, thank you. Thanks.
Hi, Richard. Very nice to meet you. Boyhood was released very early on in the year, as it's been mentioned. Was there any pressure on you to release it roundabout now to be with the other awards films?
No, I don't think it crossed our mind that we would be here. So we were just looking, like any indie film, you're just looking, when's a good time to come out. I don't think we thought we could compete with typical award season films as far as the amount that's spent or campaigned. We didn't really see ourselves as a part of that. So it worked out because by July, people had a chance to see the film. I think if we had come out in November, December, we probably wouldn't be here because people would just now be catching up with the film. So,
is it quite encouraging for you to see a film like yours competing with these other big Oscar-backed sort of films?
Yeah, I think for all indie filmmakers that it means a lot. It just shows you a film can be anything. And the people who make such judgments, whether it's critics or award, members of whatever organizations, you realize, they just want to see a film that means something to them. They don't really care so much about where it comes from.
And is it a different pressure on you now being an Oscar favorite, an Oscar contender?
That blows my mind. I never go through this world thinking I'm the front runner or the favorite in anything, so I haven't really accepted that.
Is that going to take a while to kind of settle in for you? And does that influence what you do next as well?
No, I luckily made a film this fall. I shot it. I'm editing now. So however this turns out, won't influence me much at all. And nor do I want it to. I would hate to, change my game and think, everything I do has to be an awards type film. Because I generally don't like films that are trying to be award-winning films. I want someone to make a real personal film that just means something to them. And a lot of my films have a lot of humor in them too, which kind of disqualifies them as far as serious films. So I'm just here Boyhood's very funny too, but I'm here just kind of by luck of how it all lined up, I think.
And finally, these awards are critics' awards. What's your sort of working relationship with critics? Is it a healthy one?
Yeah, it's a healthy one because I actually respect. I know a lot of artists have kind of a contentious relation, like who are you to judge me? But I just see it as a lot of my early mentors were film writers and critics, and I just see people who love movies. So I don't begrudge someone when I get a negative review, and I've been well reviewed. I can't complain. But it does sting a little bit because you just feel like you've been misunderstood. But in the back of my mind, I also know critics who change their mind. 10, 20 years later, they go, I was wrong. Because they have to, in a very short time span, to have a judgment. I couldn't do that. I need to see a film 3 times and all that. So I kind of respect the how tough that job is. But I try not to,
Excellent. Well, good luck tonight and good luck in the next few weeks as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good talking.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.